Hi everyone and welcome back to a brand new piercing video. Now, oh my gosh, I'm going to be talking today about a horror story that I have had regarding stretching my left earlobe. Also some other methods that I have done to now officially get it to 8mm. A little while ago I did a video where basically I had a 6mm plug in my ear and I did stretch it to an 8mm using a taper. Now I did follow the guidelines perfect to like what you're meant to do. However, I don't know if it was just me or maybe my earlobes or something, I don't know. But after I filmed that video, I stretched it, did it all through, perfectly fine. An hour later, my ear just started to throb and it was really painful. I took the bar out because it was really hurting and I couldn't get the back on and it was really swollen and I was like, something's obviously not right here. Took it out and it just started to bleed and I was like, oh my God, what's happening? No, I can't do that. Like, I can't, no. It ended up basically what I did was I stretched it a little bit too fast and the inside of my ear was like ripped. I ripped open like the inside of my lobe and that's because I stretched it too quickly. Even though I did follow the guidelines like to a T and perfectly what I was meant to do, my ear just did not like it and I had to ultimately downsize back down to a 6mm. So I took it out, I let it out for like a week, I let it really heal because it did look quite gross, and then I put the 6 one back in. I would now, after doing that, advise against using tapers to stretch your ear after 6mm. I would say when you go from like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, it's always in 1mm intervals. However, when you get to 6mm, for some reason I'm not really too sure why it stops doing it, but it always goes up in 2s. So it goes from 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12. And I don't really know why there isn't like a 7 or there isn't like a 9 or anything like that. Doing like a 2mm stretch in one go, I would say now is probably a little bit too much for your ear to take. I'm sure there will be cases of some people being able to do it, but for me, I would say like, do not do that. I'm really sorry. I'm actually like really sick as I'm filming this video, so bear with me if my voice is a bit funny. I sound a lot more masked than I normally would. So if you can get some like steel tapers, try not to use acrylic ones because acrylic ones aren't the best ones to use. I know that, I'm not stupid. I just did it because I'm cheap and I couldn't afford to buy the more expensive ones. So yes, I am now back at 8mm in my left ear and I love it so much. And I did use a different method called taping. So a very sexy man, I want to say, gave me this tape and it's PTFE tape. And on the side, it does say plumbing tape, and I've researched online and this is like really good to use for taping your ears, and I was like, wow, okay, plumbing tape. What you do is you get like a tunnel that you are using like currently in your ear. I would always advise to use one that has like a screw back, which is I'll explain in a minute, but use one that has like a screw on like the outside. Unravel the tape like a little bit and then you want to wrap like maybe 2 or 3 times around the plug or whatever you're using. After you wrap it around like 2 or 3 times, make sure there is no kinks in it, there is no bumps, there's no bubbles or anything. You want to make sure that it is completely flat so the stretch is very even. And then before you put it into your ear, screw the other side of it back on so it gets sort of like the bit of tape that's covering up the screw bit, because you know it's got to be like, you don't want to get that in the way, you want to be able to screw it back on. So, and then take it back off and it should sort of remove all the excess and just maybe just pull a bits off or whatever. If you do have some vitamin E oil, that's perfect, and put that around your earlobe before doing this just to keep your ear healthy. You should really be putting that on your ear anyway, maybe every 2 to 3 days, just because sometimes they can dry out and you don't want to do that, and you want to keep your earlobes very healthy. So make sure that you do keep it up and like lubricate them and like keep them clean and stuff, but take them out, give them like a good shower, and then put some vitamin E oil just to keep them nice and like moisturized and hydrated and clean. Then put it into your ear and screw the back on. So you should feel a tiny bit of a stretch, not too much, only a little bit, like a little bit. I actually had to do like 8 things round, and I think that's because I already stretched it to an 8 and maybe it didn't completely downsize to a 6, I'm not too sure. And then every like 2 to 3 days, maybe add 1 more wrap round and then put it in and like feel like a little bit more of a stretch until you get to like the next size up. Don't go crazy and like when you get to an 8, then go, oh, it's another couple days, let's put another like wrap round. No, you want to let your ear heal. You have to remember that when you're stretching your ear, going from like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, you would put like the stretcher in, it would do the one size and the one sitting, and then you put the bar in and you would have to leave it for like maybe like 1 to 2 months to let it heal perfectly before you then stretch to the next one. Doing this method is exactly the same, it's just a slightly slower process. So when you do get to the next size, leave it. Do not then go, oh, it's okay, I can put another tape back round. No. Leave it for at least 2 to 3 months. Some people do say up to like 6 months to let it completely heal. I mean, I'm impatient, so I probably wouldn't wait that long. I'm not going to advise you to do that and just like do it with everyone, but at least 2, like I would wait about 2 months. Wait about 2 months before you stretch. Ear stretching is not something you want to do quickly. So you can actually like buy this like tape in like home store. Do you call it Home Depot in America? Is that what it is? We call it like B&Q here in London. Well, in England, I should say. So you can get from sort of like home department stores. I'm sure you can buy this online as well. Yes, but it's PTFE tape and it's really, really good for this stretching. That is what I did, and I'm now at an 8 again, and I'm very, very happy. It's perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, it doesn't hurt, doesn't do anything. And like, because I did it over such like the period of like 2 weeks, I was able to stretch from like a 6 to an 8. Again, I think for me, because I don't think my ear completely downsized, I was able to go a little bit faster. Every time I'd add a few little loops on, I put it in. Just before adding the next lot, I would see if I could fit the next, like the 8mm jewelry in. And then after like, I think it was like after like three, 4 turns of adding more tape, I was able then just to add in the 8. And it not being too much of a stretch, it was quite easy to go in still. Like, it was definitely a stretch, but it was a little bit easier. One question I get asked a lot about is how big can you go before it won't go back to normal? So your ear does have a point of like no return. Now, it does vary from person to person because everyone's body is different. And some people will say it's sort of like 5mm to 6mm. For me, I would say about 6mm is the most I could have gone without it going back to normal. Obviously, now that I'm at 8, it will never go back to normal. Now, if I want completely normal flat earlobes, I will have to get surgery to get that done. Also, as well, it does depend on how quickly you do it. Like, you could go to a 5mm and stretch way too fast and damage your ear, and then your ear won't go back to normal anyway because you've done it too quickly. So make sure you do everything by like the rules and go slowly. Don't rush it. Make sure that you don't dead stretch your ear. So basically, dead stretching is where you try to force the next size of jewelry inside your ear without actually stretching it. So you're just basically getting like, you know, say your ear was stretched to 6mm, you got an 8mm bar, and you're just forcing it in your ear without even trying to stretch it properly. So that is going to be a big no-no, because that is going to cause your ear to get seriously damaged. Like, do not dead stretch your ear. Like, do not dead stretch your ear. No. Also, dead stretching can cause your ear to blow out, and that's really not what you do. It can form scar tissue in the inside of your ear because you've stretched too fast, and your ear is going to get gross and just looks horrible. It's very uncomfortable, and you can really damage your ear, and it can make it like deformed and stuff. If it happens to you and your ear swells up and it looks gross and it starts to get scar tissue, whatever, take it out, let your ear downsize as much as it needs. Rub the vitamin E oil into your ear, make sure you keep it nice and clean, and then just when it like eventually heals again, then you can start stretching again. Do not, just like, if it happens, do not just force that like piece of jewelry into your ear and be like, oh, I'll be fine, because your earlobe will just look horrible and it'll be really disgusting, and you can cause yourself infections, cause yourself scarring, it's not worth it. Just let your ear heal and then do it again. My voice is going. Oh God, I think I'm making videos when you're sick is not a good idea. I'm trying to look like I'm lively and happy, but secretly I'm dying inside. So yes, I am now back up to an 8mm. I'm really happy about it. I love it so much. So hopefully I can potentially, thing is, I don't know whether I'm gonna go any bigger. I'm gonna see if I can maybe stretch my right earlobe a little bit. Not too much, but I don't think I'm gonna go as big as this one, but maybe just a tiny bit, just to maybe even it out a tiny bit more, because this earlobe's starting to look a little bit too big for this one. So maybe sort of slightly even out. So we'll see what happens about that. So I really hope this video has been somewhat informative to some of you. And if you've got any more questions regarding stretching, please leave it down in the comment section below and I will reply to you, or maybe do another video if there's like enough stuff to talk about. So make sure you do hit the like button, because it really helps me out. Comment down below. Follow me on my social medias. My Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff is in the description. Come follow me. We can have some chats. It'll be really fun. Subscribe if you are new to my channel. I do videos every single week. And a massive shout out to Stephanie, who is my top patron. I love you. Thank you for making me just like, thank you for helping me in my life. So I'm gonna go. I'll see you very soon. I'm gonna go and die now in my bed and cry. Bye.